Hey everybody, Chris Schultz here. Just wanted to make a quick video helping people work through some of the Google One Cert material. Notice there's a lot of people looking at this and getting some questions. So hoping I can kind of head you off before you have some of those questions or go down a path that becomes too difficult. So first, starting off, just clicking on the document here, it will take you to the Educator Level 1 piece, okay? Now here's my suggestion because it'll save your progress. And it was also a suggestion from Google when some of our teachers went through their training with the through DLP. It's come up and sign in. Okay, so when you sign in, I'd suggest, and their suggestion too, is to sign in with your personal Gmail account. Now you can certainly use your Octavia if you want, but your personal email account that will always be with you, no matter where you go. If you're retiring, if you're changing jobs, if you're moving elsewhere, this way you'll always have this badge with you. So as I sign in here, give me a second just so I can show you. This will save your material. It'll save where you are. So now you'll notice that the page is exactly the same, and this is where we're going to start. We're going to start with Get Training. Okay. Do not register for the Level 1 exam. You are not ready for the Level 1 exam yet. And when you do register for the Level 1 exam, it starts a clock. You have to take it within a week. So you have to do some kind of pre-planning here. First, you want to do those, you need to do the Get Training. Okay. After you do the Get Training, and that will just kind of take you through little by little all the little lessons. When you're done all of the Get Training, you can do the Get Practice. This really just does the unit reviews. You can do them separately, but if you go through the training as you move through, you'll come across the unit reviews and you'll get all of this done. Once you've done all those unit reviews and you've done all of the courses, this is then when you want to do the Get Certified piece. Okay, so it says it right here. When you're comfortable with the material, take the certification exam. Your exam will be ready to take within 24 hours of the registration. So you have to think ahead a little bit. It's not going to be immediate, although it does come through pretty quickly. You have to think ahead. And really what you want to think ahead the most is that it does take upwards of 180 minutes, no pauses. It took me, for all three of the exams that I took for the Google certs, it took me a good 2.5 hours. Now I was taking my time. I was looking back on my notes in my notebook here, doing the best I could to answer them fully. There are multiple choice questions. There's about 20 multiple choice questions, and then they create their own Google Drive that you log into. It's really pretty cool, actually. You log into this practice Google Drive, and then they'll have you do certain things that you learned in the training and then be able to push it to certain people in Google, and that's how they grade your exam. Okay? But most importantly, do not register for the Level 1 exam until you do the Get Training. So let's take a quick look at that. Now, mine's going to look a tiny little bit different than yours because I've already done it, right? But you'll notice this, that you completed the course, provide your knowledge, or prove your knowledge and get certified. So it kind of prompts you through the next piece there, okay? This shows you all of the modules that you'll go through, okay? And you'll notice that we'll start with the Engage in Professional Growth and Leadership. So when I click on Unit 1 here, it takes me to get me started right with Unit 1 here. Goes through the introduction, tells you what you're going to learn, tells you some of the products. Now, this one's just an introductory. When you get to one that's more about like YouTube or something like that, you'll see YouTube, you'll see Blogger, you'll see Google Classroom, you'll see the different pieces that are on here, okay? And then I come down and I just work through. I just go next, okay? It gives you the expected time. I found that it takes a little bit less time than their expected time. And a lot of that is because if I scroll down here, it'll say, jot down your answers. You don't have to jot them down here. This doesn't mean you have to provide credit or anything like that. I did all my stuff on paper pencil just because I like typing it in that way. And really with this too, like I would think about it. I didn't have to write it all down. It wasn't necessary to write it all down. What I did take my time and read through was what the other educators said, because these are kind of models that they've pulled out that they're looking for you to kind of model after. Right, so I would take my time and read through some of these, compare it to my original thoughts, and then move on, right? I watch the videos, come down here, it says, start by clicking the button. Now, what have you learned for some real classroom possibilities? You can certainly write all these down. You can just think about it and reflect inside of your brain. What I really like to look at, once again, is the responses, because these are kind of really good models of what Google and the certification, what they're looking for. Right. So I would spend more of my time kind of reading through these, comparing and contrasting what I had going on in my brain as I thought about it, and then being able to move on. Right. There's the lesson check at the end. You can check your answer. If you don't get it right, you can always go back and do it again. And that's really basically it. You just asynchronously, you just work your way through all the different modules. This is unit 1. So you start off and this will highlight differently as you move through. You'll end up coming down to the unit review. And then you just keep going. Notice how it says, take the test again, right? If you don't get them right to where you want to be, then you just go back, learn from it, go back to your notes, go back into the training, and then try it again. Okay. But remember, try and use your common sense with these. It really is programmed to be more common sense based. So think about good teaching, think about, common sense, what would make the most sense, and go from there. Okay. Hope this helps.